Hey guys, got another video for you today. We'll be looking at string payment systems. I used this in my last minigame, Sandbreaker. If you haven't played that, you should. It's really good. But one of the most interesting mechanisms I used, at least to me, was a way to use string as payment, kind of like how you could use sand or redstone torches. So yeah, let's get right into it. So this is the design I used in my minigame. You simply place the string on top of the black block, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it would activate, it would clear all the string, and you could buy it again. So it fully resets, and every time you get like an item or whatnot. So I'll be showing you how to build that. So first off, let's start with the very basics. So obviously, since we're using string, you're going to be using a tripwire. So you set your tripwire on the ends. Now this one is going to be right next to the black blocks, but this one is going to be 2 off, and then it's going to be on the next block. Now the reason for that is just the basic thing for how this works is when you place all the string, it'll fully connect the tripwire, and then this villager who is already standing on the tripwire will activate it, which will then break the string and reset it. So yep, basically it's just these blocks moving back, and since the string is one of those easily broken blocks like redstone, it'll just fall off instantly. Now, just to connect to the pistons, all you do is put repeaters off of the tripwire end right here. You could also put it off of this block, but this one's closer, so I use the tripwire end. Put it into an inverter and just set it up like that. And the longer you have the more repeaters you have here, the longer the delay will be and the longer the output pulse will be. So see, if I put these repeaters down to 1, it's really fast, it doesn't go so well. But see, if I put them full now, do the same thing, much longer pulse, worked out much better. Now from this we have a problem, since we can pick up the strings sometimes. So it's not a true payment system yet. So to combat that, to make it so you can't pick up the string after you've already placed it, we just add a second row of pistons right underneath the floor right here. So when you activate it, those pistons will come up and it'll stop you from acquiring any string that comes your way. See, I can't get anything, and all the string will fall down, and it won't bounce over here. So there's no way you can get the string now. So that's really simple. The way to hook that up is just put a redstone line down from the same one that activated the top line of pistons, and that just goes down under here and into the bottom line of pistons. Also, interesting note right here, half slabs, you can place repeaters on them now. I didn't know that until that long ago, and it's awesome because you would never be able to do something like this without that. Because see, if you put a block like this here, then the redstone line is now blocked and it can't go across. But if we use a half slab, half slabs work like glowstone, so they're a hollow block, so redstone can pass through them, and obviously it just looks like it can anyway, just because there's a hole in the bottom. Oh, and they have to be on the top. You can't place repeaters when they're on the bottom part of the block. It just doesn't work. Okay, next. So if you're going for longer string payments, you can either do this, which I would not recommend, by the way. This is 15. So it works the same, it works just fine, but it takes up a ton of room and it takes up lots of resources. And and it looks really bad. I would never put this in a minigame ever. Same basic design, nothing has really changed, it's just longer. That's how you deal. That's one way to deal with it. I would prefer using this. It's the same exact thing, just hooked up to a counter. So there were 15 there. In this one, there's only 5 in the direct place that you place the string, but it's hooked up to a counter that goes 3 times. So 5 times 3, that's 15. So it's the exact same as that one. It's a little bit taller. It's a little bit more advanced, but it's much, much, much smaller. So if you see, we put it in. Activates the first one. That's number 1 of the counter. Go in the second time. Activates the second one. And then third time we put it in, it'll activate the last one and give us one of these gold blocks. Yep. There's our gold blocks. And it resets itself, of course. Then you can just start doing it again. And I really like putting redstone lamps and having player feedback for your buying system, which is pretty essential when you're using something like this, especially for this one, because if those weren't there, you just assume that you'd only put 5 in. But since they are there, you know that you need to put in 15. So I'd highly recommend using those if you're going to be using a counter, or have a sign specifically telling you how many times you need to put it in. Okay, so you have your basic design, and I'll go into how I made the counter. So from the inverter that we made way back in the original version, you turn that into a monostable circuit. So all you have to do that is, so it's right here, it's like this now. Just put a block on top of the torch. You put one block like so, coming off of the bottom of the block the torch is on. Put a repeater on that block. Put it to full, so it's now 4 ticks. So when this monostable goes off, it'll release a 2-tick pulse. Okay, now after that, put redstone here. Comes off of this torch, and then when you're done with that, put another torch right there. So now every time it's activated, it'll release a 2-tick pulse out of this torch, and that'll go up here to the counter. So the counter will activate with 2 ticks. These pistons here will be activated, but only for 2 ticks. It's very important. So they'll all go up. Every single one of these blocks will go up. Then this one will be activated by the redstone. It'll bud switch. So it'll stay up even after this redstone line is turned off. And then, so the power will go through this block here, then it'll keep going into this block. But since this block will have already gone down after 2 ticks, then it won't reach the second one in time. So you'll have to press it again, it'll reach the second one, and then you'll have to press it again, it'll reach the third one, and then it just resets itself. So yeah, that's pretty much string payment systems. It's really simple. It's really, I really like it. Seems like it would be a great thing for adventure maps, or possibly any of those Nazi zombies maps I've seen. I mean, why should you have to count with rotten flesh when you could put in a spider randomly every once in a while, and that could count as your currency? So yeah, it's just some ideas. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.